Aldo standing at his table, still wondering if he's able to get the number right this time.
Internationally renowned Canadian progressive rockers Saga have released a new studio album today called Symmetry, and we're joined by lead singer Michael Sadler from the biggest band out of Oakville.
That's where I saw you last. You and I were co-hosting an event for Radius Youth and Child Services.
I was looking at the photo yesterday. I was actually going to bring it up and show it to the folks at home, but... Yeah.
Oh, we had a great time that night. And we chatted at that time 2 years ago. You got to come on Morning Live. And you said, well, you know what? We're going to be doing an album, and why don't I come on the show when it's ready? Well, here we are 2 years later, and it's ready with Symmetry. Before we look at the new album, I want to take you back.
Oh, boy.
Here's a show from Germany. You guys were huge in Germany. What was the biggest crowd you ever performed in front of?
That would be it right there. That was Rock am Ring in 1980. The fans will jump all over this one. 83, 82, 83. Yeah, that was remarkable. That was about 75, 80,000 people.
Still today, you guys are bigger in Germany than David Hasselhoff, aren't you?
I think we're just neck and neck at this point. Yeah.
Our producer, Don, is actually a huge fan. In fact, he was at one of your shows in the 80s and had some lessons in human anatomy and is scarred by some images just by turning around and looking at the row behind him at a Saga concert.
I get scared. We were on the last of the 2017 tour and the previous tour. On the backdrop, we had old footage like you just saw and various live bits from like 20, 30 years ago. And I'd be in the middle of singing one of the songs and it's synced in with the song behind me. I see this image of me like 30 years younger. It's like, whoa, it's kind of scary.
It's jarring. Well, you're looking great. You're looking great, by the way. Now, the band took a hiatus for a couple of years in 2017. When I saw you, you guys were just getting back together. We have an acoustic album, but how has the band changed?
What happened at the time, 2017, it had been, exactly 40 years, and we thought, this is probably a good time to just see. We had a great career. We're at the top of our game. I'd rather pull the plug when you're at the top of your game than just kind of fade off into the sunset. Leave people with a stronger memory that way. And we just thought, for just terms of touring, we were putting an end to the touring and the relentless on the road stuff, not stopping creatively, thinking we would still be making music in that, but just specifically getting off the road. We had a couple of shows that were already booked ahead of time before we made the announcement in 2017. We did those two shows in 2018. We let a little bit of time go by, and the intent was not, get off the road, say you're retiring, and then it'll jack up the price. So when you come back, you'll it was no such thing. I mean, we had intended to, say that's it for the touring, at least for an undetermined amount of time. And through the fans really saying, guys, the last time we just saw you and come on, you can't stop now. And quite honestly, the offers started pouring in, ironically, and we thought, you know what, we still got a lot of steam in the engine. We really got to do this. And in the meantime, Jim Crichton had said, he'd had quite enough of the touring part of it, which can be pretty grueling and being away from home and that. So yeah. And he just said, guys, and respectfully we said, that's cool. We're about to go back out, and we had to look for somebody. And through Mike Thorne, our drummer, we found Dusty Chesterfield, who stepped in and fit like a glove and just basically picked up where we left off.
So tell us about Symmetry. Very interesting acoustic spins on some of your big hits, but it's not just acoustic covers. There's a lot of layers to this and some extra instrumentation that you've brought in.
Yeah, when it was announced that we were going to be doing an acoustic record, the instantaneous reaction from most of the fans and the public was, "Oh, great! Just what we need, a Saga unplugged record. Just something to fill in the gap until we get a new studio album." But it's much more than that. I think once people have a chance to hear exactly where we're coming from with this album, they'll understand that. It's a standalone. It's an album of itself. We didn't want to just strap on acoustic guitars and couple of cardboard boxes and a piano and just play the songs the way they were. We wanted to take it to another level, and different kind of instrumentation, slightly different arrangements. There's 3 new instrumental pieces on it. So it's really reimaginings of these songs, slightly rearranged in some cases, a couple of new parts in the songs. But it's like I say, it's a very challenging record for us to make, because song selection wise, it's like, well, let's do that song, and if the audience, or we thought the audience would go, it's impossible to do that song stripped down. We went, okay, that's the one we're going to do, because we've never done things the easy way, and it was a challenge, very satisfying in the end, but it was a lot of work.
Well, it did pay off, because it's really neat to listen to. And we can do it today because Symmetry comes out, available as a CD, jewel case, 2 LP gatefold, and as a digital download. And we'll put up all the links at chch.com. Michael, so good to see you. And make sure you visit often, would you?
I will. It's my pleasure. Nice talking to you again. We've got to see you with you've got to wear a cowboy hat the next time, though. I did. You did.
Deal.
Aldo standing at his table, still wondering